I was just walking, music in my ears, hands in my pockets. And in this city, if your skin is a certain color, that's all it takes to be a suspect. Darius Green, a 34-year-old black man, takes a walk after work to clear his head. He's wearing a gray hoodie, sneakers, and headphones hanging around his neck. His eyes are on the ground, but his mind is racing. Across the street, two white police officers appear, Officer Tate and Officer Boyd. Tate, in his 50s, wears a permanent sneer. Boyd is younger, but his eyes gleam with cruel amusement. Tate nudges Boyd and mutters, "Look at that. The rats come out with the sunset." Boyd chuckles, missing something on the reports. "Ah, there it is. Suspicious profile located." Tate raises his voice. "Hey, you there! What are you up to?" Darius stops and pulls out his earbuds, tension in his voice. "I'm not up to anything. Just walking." Boyd steps closer, narrowing his eyes. "Getting defensive, huh? What are you so afraid of?" Darius frowns. "Why are you stopping me? Because I'm a black man walking through a park?" Tate laughs mockingly. "You think too highly of yourself. Our job's to separate the threats." Darius snaps back. "I'm not a threat, but you sure look like one." Boyd pulls out a pair of cuffs. "Let's head downtown. Best way to prove you're innocent, right?" A small crowd begins to form, but no one intervenes. Darius lowers his gaze. His voice trembles. "You're threatening me, and everyone else is silent." The police car swallows Darius whole. The last rays of sunlight flicker off the cold steel of his handcuffs. Darius is still cuffed as he's taken into a stark interrogation room. The walls are bare, the table scratched, and the ceiling light flickers dimly. Officer Tate walks in with an empty file. He smirks and sits down across from Darius. "Let's see which one of our black citizens is a threat today." Darius clenches his teeth. "I didn't do anything, and you know it." Boyd strolls in behind him, holding a coffee. "Ah, the classic opener. I'm innocent. Man, I missed hearing that." Tate scoffs. "Write this down. Refused to cooperate, avoided eye contact, showed aggression. Case closed." Darius raises his voice. "I'm not aggressive. I'm angry, because this is a lie." Boyd rolls his eyes. "A lie? No cameras, no recordings, just you and us. Whose word do you think counts more?" Tate leans forward, voice low. "Be smart. Sign this report. You'll be home in a few hours. Refuse, and tomorrow the headlines will read, 'Violent Black Suspect.'" Darius narrows his eyes. "No matter what, I won't play this game." Boyd slams his hand on the table. "Guys like you, always the victim. We're tired of the act." Tate pushes the file closer. "Sign it or get chewed up by the system." Darius stays quiet, but now, alongside the fear in his eyes, there's resolve. The door closes, and the silence in the room becomes the loudest lie of them all. The room is heavy with tension, a scratched metal table, stale coffee in a plastic cup, and a single flickering bulb overhead. The recorder is on, but the system prefers working off the record. Darius Green sits with his hands on the table, his face etched with both anger and exhaustion, but he doesn't stay silent. Resistance burns in his eyes. Officer Tate enters first, followed by Boyd. Both smirking, they toss a folder on the table. Tate mocks him. "Clean record, huh? Shame. Looks like we'll have to dirty it up a bit." Boyd smirks. "Men like you? Never clean. Just better at pretending." Darius frowns. "I was walking. What crime am I being accused of?" Tate leans in. "We're not accusing you. We're creating the crime. Understand now?" Boyd grins. "You're good at playing the victim. No cameras, no witnesses. Your word against the badge. Guess which one wins?" Darius narrows his eyes, fists clenched. "Your badge isn't a symbol of justice. It's become a weapon of fear." Tate slams the table. "One burst of anger and we'll label you violent. That's all it takes." Boyd slides a form across the table. "Sign this. It says resisted arrest. 3 months tops. Maybe probation." Darius shakes his head. "If I sign, I accept the lie. And this lie won't end here." Tate scoffs. "It won't end. While you're in a cell, we'll find a witness. She'll say you had a gun. And your words? Just another too late defense." Boyd leans forward, low and bitter. "We are the system, kid. And it wasn't built to explain itself to you. It was built to crush you." Then, the door creaks open. A black woman enters, confident, fire in her eyes, a bag over her shoulder. "I'm attorney Lisa Harris. This interrogation ends now." Tate and Boyd glance at each other. Boyd whispers, "Here we go." Darius exhales deeply. He sits up straighter. The fight isn't over, but for the first time, he isn't fighting alone. The courtroom is packed. Reporters, activists, supporters of civil rights, all watching. Outside, banners read, "Justice for Darius," fluttering under a gray sky. Inside, it's silent. Darius Green stands at the defense table beside his lawyer, Lisa Harris. Dressed in a sharp black suit, he sits tall. His eyes don't plead, they fight. Judge William Carter, 63, white, ex-military posture, emotionless. He treats the trial like paperwork, not justice. Officers Tate and Boyd take the witness stand, dressed in suits and wearing faces of false humility. Tate begins. "Mr. Green responded aggressively when we approached. We warned him several times. He resisted. We had to act for public safety." Boyd continues. "When he reached into his pocket, we assumed he had a weapon. His behavior was threatening. That's why we had to detain him." Attorney Harris stands. "Then why were your body cams turned off?" Tate stammers. "Equipment malfunction, unfortunate timing." Judge Carter sighs. "The testimony is consistent, but the lack of physical evidence is problematic. Proceed." Just then, the courtroom doors open. Eleanor Briggs, 82, enters in a wheelchair, dignified, sharp-eyed, her white hair tied in a bun, her gray blazer modest, yet commanding. Harris speaks calmly. "Your Honor, our witness is ready." Ms. Eleanor Briggs was present at the scene. Carter frowns. "At her age? Is this witness reliable?" "Memory concerns." Briggs interrupts, firm. "Your Honor, I taught law at Harvard for 27 years. I'm a retired criminal court judge. My memory is sharper than your sense of neutrality." A ripple moves through the crowd. Briggs wheels up to the stand. "I was there. Darius was simply walking. The officers provoked him, mocked him. I saw them arrest him without cause. The reason? His skin." The courtroom freezes. Judge Carter sits straighter. Boyd goes pale. Tate wipes sweat from his brow, and truth crashes into the room like a tidal wave. The courtroom is thick with tension. Outside, chants of "Black Lives Matter" echo through the air. Camera flashes don't just illuminate, they sting. All eyes are fixed on the jury. Darius Green stands tall beside his attorney, Lisa Harris. His gaze is locked on the officers. Boyd avoids eye contact, staring at the floor in shame. Tate nervously scrapes his shoe against the marble. Judge Carter, wearing his usual cold expression, turns to the jury foreman. "You may read the verdict." The foreman rises, voice trembling enough to squeeze every heart in the room. "Regarding the case of Darius Green, we find the defendant not guilty. Unanimously." A beat of silence. Then applause erupts like thunder. The gallery stands in unison. Darius bows his head, not in shame, but to hide the tears swelling in his eyes. Attorney Harris steps forward and speaks into the microphone. "Your Honor, we formally request an internal investigation into Officers Tate and Boyd for false accusations and racial misconduct. Their testimonies directly contradict eyewitness reports and available video evidence. The justice system can no longer afford this rot." Judge Carter doesn't flinch at first. Then, slowly, he raises the gavel. "This court hereby authorizes an official inquiry into Officers Tate and Boyd for abuse of authority, perjury, and racially motivated conduct." The officers freeze. As security escorts them out, Tate yells in frustration, "I was just doing my job!" But no one is listening anymore. From the back row, Mrs. Eleanor Briggs looks at Darius. She smiles. Her aged eyes glisten with pride. Her voice had become the turning point of justice. Darius steps to the microphone. He looks across the courtroom. His voice is steady, even as his eyes are wet. "You tried to silence me. You tried to accuse me. But I wasn't alone. The truth spoke, and this time, it wasn't silenced." The camera follows Darius as he exits the courthouse. The crowd parts for him. Applause follows his every step. A young boy on his father's shoulders shouts, "He won, Dad!" Not because he's black, but because he was right. The truth may be delayed, but in the end, justice finds its way.